Phantom of the Opera was directed by Rupert Julian, starring Lon Chaney, and is based on the book Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. It's about this opera singer named Christine Daae who's being pursued by the Phantom, a mysterious, disfigured man who hides his face with a mask and creeps around the opera house killing people. I think I know the story of the original Gaston Leroux book because I have a copy and I've read some of it, and I also watch Lindsay Ellis's videos, so yeah. I'm a fan of the Andrew Lloyd Webber musical too, especially the 25th anniversary performance at the Royal Albert Hall. I've yet to actually watch a stage production of the musical because I don't live in New York or London and everything is closed anyway, so... In regards to the movie, I think it must be really hard to make a Phantom of the Opera silent movie because there's so much emphasis on the music, especially with Christine and the Phantom singing. I also think that the subject of the story itself is hard to make into a silent film. There's a lot of external conflict, but there's also a lot of complex internal conflict within the characters because you have Christine's conflicting feelings about the Phantom and about Raoul, and you also have the Phantom as he's trying to win over Christine and garner sympathy for his tragic character. I noticed while I was watching that there are a lot of title cards with a lot of dialogue in each. I haven't seen too many silent films, but I have seen like Buster Keaton and Charlie Chaplin films, and they use way less title cards because the internal conflict in those movies is really easy to show through actions and expressions, or because the conflict in them is mostly external. So I think that it makes sense for there to be so much text in this because I can't imagine how you could convey all that information to the audience with visuals alone. Where the movie shines is in its set design and makeup. Lon Chaney makes for such a gross-looking Phantom that I think he looks the worst out of any iteration of the Phantom character I've seen. Lon Chaney as an actor was well known for portraying these kinds of monstrous characters, so he really sells the villainous aspect of the Phantom. And I also think that the Phantom is one of the meanest or the worst Phantoms in the sense that you can't sympathize very much with him. He has a lot of dialogue about how society has wronged him, but I think that we never really see him do anything besides terrorize or kill people and also manipulate Christine. Well, I think he did compose a song in the middle, but whatever. We also never get to hear his angelic voice because it's a silent film, and so the movie is missing a couple things that would make him into a character that we could sympathize with. I don't think the film made bad decisions. They obviously had a huge barrier to overcome because it was made in the silent era, but that's just some stuff I observed. Looking back, I think it probably wasn't the point to make the Phantom sympathetic. He was probably just designed to be like a Hollywood monster, which I think Lon Chaney really nailed. I'm kind of comparing this to the Andrew Lloyd Webber musical, but if you compare Ramin Karimlou's Phantom and probably most other Andrew Lloyd Webber Phantoms to Lon Chaney's Phantom, they do seem really different, and I think that's really interesting. Another thing I noticed was motifs of light and dark, since Christine is mostly shown in bright white light or in bright surroundings because she's really pure. The Phantom, in contrast, is usually hiding in shadow. When he first brings Christine to his lair, you can actually see a sort of gradient as she descends from above ground where there is light to down below into the darkness. I also thought it was really cool how the movie incorporated a lot of shadows and silhouettes. I appreciate it especially in the beginning of the movie when you're not supposed to know what the Phantom looks like. And to pull that off, the movie relies a lot on shadows, silhouettes, and spoken descriptions, which I think worked really well. The reveal especially was also really crazy, and I kind of wish I could see what the audience reaction was when the film first debuted. All in all, I liked it. It's not my favorite, but I'm also really glad I got to watch the original Phantom film, so it was a good experience, and I give it 2 sharks. My lesson that I'm taking away from this is to think about light and dark motifs because they're a good way to indirectly reveal information about a character or to contrast between 2 different characters in terms of morality, purity, or any kind of symbol with 2 extremes.